Okay. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Diamondhead Planning and Zoning Commission. We'd like to begin our this evening's meeting with a statement of purpose. Commissioner Lynn?
Mayor, decisions today be made with wisdom, careful deliberation, and in the best interest of the city of Diamondhead. May we display patience and kindness in our dealings with each other and all who are in attendance, and may any decisions made today promote the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Diamondhead and the enhancement of the city as a whole.
Pledge your allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Tammy, may we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner DeBro.
Here.
Commissioner Flowers.
Here.
Commissioner Torgerson.
Here.
Commissioner Hector.
Here.
Commissioner Leo.
Here.
Commissioner Horn. Chairman Rubar.
Here. Okay, we have the agenda before us. Let's see, are there any changes to the agenda? None? Hearing or seeing none, I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approval of minutes. I hope you've all taken a few moments to look over the minutes from the past meeting. They're relatively lengthy, so is there any changes or amendments to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion to accept. Second.
It's been made and a second.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner DeBro.
Aye.
Commissioner Flowers.
Aye.
Commissioner Hector.
Aye.
Commissioner Horn. Commissioner Leo.
Aye.
Commissioner Torgerson.
Aye.
Chairman Rubar.
Aye. Okay, so moving right along to item number 3, the new business. David Hector has filed an application requesting a variance from the zoning ordinance article 4.19 to allow the construction of a pool enclosure on Lane within 11.3 inches of the rear property line. The property address is 7433 Turnberry Drive. The parcel number is 067N-1-35-010-000. The property is an R1 zoning district. The rear yard setback is 20 feet. The variance request is for the enclosed pool closure is 8.7 inches, 8 feet 7 inches. The case file number is 202-100-562.
All right, case came to us from the Beckners. They have a swimming pool in their backyard, and they want to put an enclosure on it, commonly referred to as a lanai. Oh, that's better. Okay, pardon me. Requested a lanai, and once you do that, you've got the 20-foot rear yard setback that you have to deal with, and it's on the golf course there. So they put in an application to request the variance of 11 point, or to come within 11.3 feet. That would be a total variance of 8.7 feet.
Any questions, commissioners? Hearing none, we'll move along.
Beckners are here.
Beg your pardon, okay.
Yes.
The applicants would like to come up and speak to the issue?
Yeah. First of all, on the the variance that was written up, it's the decking on the pool is the part that's comes out to the 11.3 feet from the property line. You'll see it on your drawing, and of course the lanai is going to go up as screened only from there. It's just that one corner of that decking. It's not the whole pool is inside that 20 feet setback. It's just that one little corner.
Okay.
Of course, my primary reasoning, of course, for this bill in this lanai is I have 4 grandchildren that live close. They're going to be using this pool, and not to say I know we all have good golfers in this community, but there could be an errant shot coming there, and I do not want to have to rush one to the emergency room.
So you figure it's a safety issue for your grandchildren?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you should state that, so that is a safety issue. All right,
It's a very yes, sir.
okay. And how many children do you have? Grandchildren?
I have 4 in the immediate area. 3 other ones in Texas. They'll probably be coming this summer.
all right.
Total of 7. Oh yeah, I got neighbors.
Plus the neighbors. Huh?
Yeah,
Sounds like a rowdy crew to me.
yeah.
All right. Commissioners, any other questions?
See, this guy seems kind of shifty to me. I don't know if we should take a second look at this.
You got-
I rescind that comment.
If you got a board, I can draw you a picture.
No, I went by and looked at it, and I don't. It looks just fine. I mean, I went by twice and looked at it. Went by the second time to see if I could get him to offer me a beer, but he wasn't home.
Give me a heads up.
Okay. All right. No more questions for you. You're free to sit down for now.
Okay.
If we need more information, we'll call you back. There's somebody signed up to speak, Bob Pino. Could you please state your name and your address, please?
Good evening, Bob Pinot, and I live at 7426 Turnberry Drive, right across the street. As a property owner, as a neighbor of the Beckners, I don't have any objection to this whatsoever. As a golfer, as a member of the golf here, I, again, do not have any objection to it at all. I think it would be a good addition to the neighborhood. I think the pool with the lanai would enhance the neighborhood and make it safe for people who are using it. I know I don't want to get hit from a golf ball when I'm in that pool, so thank you.
Okay. While you're swimming, you don't want to get hit by a golf ball, is that what you're saying?
I have. They're pretty hard.
All right. Anyone else who wants to address the commission regarding this issue? Okay. All right, the chair will entertain a motion to either approve or deny this. Oh, we need to have the staff report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, as you know, there's several things that we have to consider when we're issuing a variance. One of the things, and we'll go over these individually, that special conditions and circumstances do exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, and which are not applicable to other land structures or buildings in the same district. And in this situation, we believe that criteria is met due to the shape of the lots there. The lot, this is the only area that a pool could be located. So that the literal interpretation of the provisions of this title would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same zoning district under the terms of this title. Again, there are many other lanais covering pools in the R1 area district, as well as the golf courses. That I'm going to skip over this one and then come back to it. That granting the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this title to other land, structures, or buildings in the same district. We have allowed several other variances up to 11 feet from the property line. So this is not a precedent setting. The variance, if authorized, will represent the minimum variance that will afford relief. As Mr. Beckner stated, it's just that one corner that is only 11.3 feet from the property line. The rest of it is well beyond that. In our opinion, the variance would observe the spirit of the ordinance and would not change the character of the district. It would also observe the spirit of the comprehensive plan, and that the variance will not result in any change in use or density of the subject problem. Going back to the one I skipped over is number C, item C, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from the applicant's actions of the applicant. I could take both sides of this, or the staff could take both sides of this. But the pool, when it was installed, met all the criteria, and now he's just looking to add. So the staff's viewpoint is that it's not caused by the applicant in this situation.
Any questions for Mr. Rich? I just have a follow-up question. The owner is responsible for the maintenance of the lanai, is he not, correct?
Correct.
So we have these lanais that are, well, a couple of them you may not be aware of, that I'm aware of, that are falling down. No repair has been made to them. Who is responsible for enforcing the repair to the lanai?
That would be code enforcement for the city.
Okay. All right. Because once they start falling down, they can become problematic and dangerous to the
Agreed.
children and.
Yes, just like the house deteriorating and getting in disrepair.
Right.
The lanai is part of the house
Okay.
because it's attached to it. So it falls
the
under
same
that
issues
same
apply.
umbrella.
Same regulations apply.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I need a motion to either approve or deny this request.
I make a motion, we approve.
Who was that from? David? Oh.
No.
Oh, Doug. Okay. And I need a second?
Second.
Second? Okay, it's been moved in second. Call the motion to question. Any questions on the motion, what we're voting on? Okay. Therefore, we'll call for a roll call vote, since there's no further discussion, and a question to the motion.
Commissioner DeBro.
Aye.
Commissioner Flowers.
Aye.
Commissioner Hector. Commissioner Horn. Commissioner Lael.
Aye.
Commissioner Torgerson.
Aye.
Chairman Rubar.
Abstain. Okay. Any unbusiness items before the commission? I do have a question before we get to the commissioner's comments. I noticed on Kapalama coming up to, I think it's Hoya up here, that there was a stop work order. And I would like the staff to explain to us why that stop order was issued and why the work was done in the first place.
Yeah, I got that. The stop work order was issued because Phil was brought in and there's not a building permit issued. So
There was no permit issued.
there's no building permit issued for that property yet. There has been a permit applied for, but not issued because the applicant has not met the conditions in order for us to issue a permit.
Wasn't that not in a FEMA regulated area? Because that is the drainage area. And during Hurricane Katrina, that area was totally flooded.
It's in the X zone.
All right, well, I know you guys are on top of it, I just wanted to know, people ask me, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Okay.
in fact, Commissioner Lael and I were talking about that earlier, and she said they kind of slipped in very early on a Saturday morning and did that. So since then, there's been no other work. The only thing that's happened there is that they have removed the bulldozer that was sitting out there,
Yeah.
and there's been no other work done. I have spoken to the owner of the property already and have sent notification to the builder that no other work is to be done until we have issued a building permit, and that if any excess fill was put on the property, it will have to be removed.
Okay. Okay, open public comments or to non-agenda items from any of the commissioners or staff?
I do, Mr. Chairman, just a moment. I want to, if y'all remember, we approved taking the publications where we publicize the meetings and the agenda items or the variance request in the Seacoast Echo. And because Seacoast Echo had gone from a twice weekly publication to a weekly publication, it kind of put a crunch on us as far as getting from the time that the applicant made the application to the time we got to the decision point here with the commission. It was very tight because of having to we reduced that to one publication. So with that, we were also included in that was a situation that we ran into where we have 45 days once the application is submitted to us to make a decision. And that does not give any leeway to the commission to reschedule, consider further, or to temporarily stop the meeting or terminate the meeting and then reschedule it for next week. Okay. What we've done here is with going to one publication in the paper of record, we were able to shave a week off the process. What we have done, and the staff got together and talked this through, we've shaved another week off the process. So in most situations, we're probably talking about 30 days plus or minus from the time that the application deadline is until the time that you issue a decision on it. So that will give you, first of all, it's quicker to get a decision made. Second of all, it gives you some flexibility, some latitude that if you want additional information or if you want to continue a case, then you could say we adjourn until next week or whenever in order to meet that 45 days and not have you in a bind on that. So these are the changes that were made to that date, and I just want to make you aware of.
Thank you for sending that out to us. Okay, anything else? Okay. Any commissioners' comments? Okay, before we get to communication or announcements, I'd like to take a point of personal privilege and read a letter to the commission. I would like to preface my comments this evening that what I'm about to say reflects my views based on my experience both as a commissioner and what my previous life experiences has taught me as a CEO, a COO, a CFO, a controller in corporate America, a professor of economics and political science, presiding Archbishop of the Holy Catholic Church, which is a global church in 79 countries. With that experience and background, and a work history of more than 50 years, I have something to say. I agreed to accept the appointment on the Planning and Zoning Commission at the highest level, at the head, of then Chairman of the Commission, Dempsey Milton, and the City Council, Tink Leclerc. Having lived in the city for 15 years and raising 3 foster boys on my own, I thought it was my time and opportunity to give back to the city. I moved here to raise 3 boys because it was a much safer environment than the city of New Orleans and a better educational system. Being here now, going on 17 years, I have not regretted that decision 99% of the time. Like all of us, we have our challenges. Like all of us living here, we have witnessed the changes in the direction of both the city and in government and in policy and governances. In those 17 years, I have witnessed firsthand living next to the manager of POA and listening to his challenges, trying to manage the POA. What was obvious is that the covenants were not often observed or complied with decisions often based upon the preference and political pressures rather than the covenants themselves. I can give 4 different specific instances if need be. Having a political and economics and business administration education along with my doctorate degree, and possessing more than 50 years of work experience, and serving in college with Dr. Louis Meyer, who was a special assistant to the governor of Arizona, and also the special assistant to John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I learned a lot about politics. Politics is like making sausage. It's a sloppy, nasty business. But everybody in the end gets something in the sausage. That's how democracy works. I was blessed to have these men govern me through. They issued and wanted me to very strongly run for the state house, which I refused. I ran for the student government president, and I found that to be very distasteful. In those 15 years that I've lived here, plus 2 more, I've witnessed firsthand many other wonderful experiences here. Having a political, economics, and science and business administration, as well as a doctorate degree, and possessing more than 50 years of work experience, which is probably longer than most of you have been alive, I've worked with many city governments, and I continue to work with world governments around the world: Russia, China, India, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Brazil, the Philippines, Thailand, and I do this on a daily basis. I speak 5 languages. Those governments can be as difficult as you can imagine to deal with. The democracies are relatively easy, but complicated. The reason I'm discussing this is that when accepting the appointment as a commissioner would give me the opportunity to help the city of Diamondhead continue to be a good place to live, where all of its citizens would be treated equally and fairly. In the nearly 2 years since my appointment, I was rather encouraged by the fairness by which Ronald Jones worked with the commission and his openness in always providing the commissioners with not just his professional recommendations, but also with alternative choices of the actions which he would inform us were our options. Commissioners, as alternatives, honored that process, and we could take time as we deliberated each issue coming before us. In the April of this last year, I was elected chairman of the commission along with William Horn as vice chairman, who has since submitted his name as resignation. Our mayor, Nancy Depro, approached myself and Bill one at the meeting after we were elected and pledged her support to work with us, stating that she would not interfere or influence our decisions. True to her word, she has not interfered or pressured myself or Bill Horn in our deliberations, and I respect her for that. However, in the last 6 months, I've noticed a marked change in the timeliness and detail of information the Commission sometimes receives. In addition, there has been brought to my attention statements by non-elected officials stating that it doesn't matter what the commissioners think, they don't have any choice but to accept the staff's recommendations. Since I've known the individuals who have reported these comments to me for more than 10 years, I have every reason not to doubt the veracity of their statements. What is most troubling to me as commissioner is the Machiavellian nature of a few individuals working for and with the city. I cannot state this clear decision on their part is willingly done. What I can say is deeply concerning to me and as a citizen of Diamondhead. Government is not a role for everyone. It's with mixed emotions I have decided to tender my resignation as commissioner. and Planning Commission. I would like to thank my fellow commissioners for the support and their tenure. However, I simply cannot betray my conscience, my religious vows, my obligations to the citizens of Diamondhead by participating where the welfare and the rights of the citizens are treated subordinate to those of the wealthy and powerful. As stated to us in the last written staff report, the following. While the staff and the commission here understand concerns expressed by the tenants of this property, these concerns are not to be a factor into their decision process. Any concerns from the tenants regarding the development of the property should be addressed by the landlord. The commission should not interfere with the landlord/tenant relationship. Nowhere is that stated in the ordinances. In the city ordinances 2.4, 2.44, and 2.46, nowhere is that stated. Anywhere the relationship between the landlord and the developer are to be taken into consideration or to be paramount to the welfare of the citizens or existing businesses. The commission and the city council are responsible first to the citizens and the businesses of Diamondhead, not to individual developers, not to private interest, and not to the advantage of a few, but the welfare of all. That is what our democracy is built upon. I am embarrassed and ashamed to be part of that decision which we rendered in our last commission meeting. I will bear the consequences of that decision on my soul when I meet my Maker. And I will answer for them. A deep dedication to ethics and the commitment of truth and honesty is paramount in all things in life. When I worked for ExxonMobil, I was the controls advisor. What that means is I was responsible for teaching ethics to the corporation. From the highest levels to the lowest levels. I know ethics inside and out. I was chosen for that role for a reason. I humbly pray that all those in government here will adhere to the scriptures found in not only the Christian tradition, but in the Jewish and Islamic tradition. And I quote, God calls us all to fulfill the goodness from inside and out, being holy in what we do and say, because Christians and all faithful should have the heart to seek goodness. Those who seek the welfare of all inherit everlasting joy as a reward. Those who seek only wealth and power through their personal actions shall be left wanting and suffering. Thank you for allowing me to discuss these words. I made the announcement during my story about the resignation of Bill Horn as well as my own. The next City Council meeting is on February 1st, 2020. The next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is on February 22nd. The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
A second?